Good morning, Entrefluencers. Welcome back to the Entrefluential Life podcast. This is the early morning show. I'm your host, Sebastian Tanner.
And I'm your co-host, John Tanner.
Welcome to episode 70. We're going to dive in right into the
70. Wow.
Episode 70.
30 away from 100. I can't wait.
Great minds think alike. So guys, we're going to dive right into the physical tip of the day. I want you guys to watch this next clip. What did you guys think of that? How did you feel about it?
You know what? I think this is excellent, Sebastian. I am so glad that you're bringing live video into our show, which we were talking about for like,
2 years.
I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
69 episodes prior. And so here it is, like we finally reach, you know, we catch up to our desire, you know, our vision.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting. And I think people are going to enjoy it a whole lot more. And I can't wait to bring on other people. So like my niece,
Yes.
Vicky, Sebastian's cousin, she said she's going to do some of the female exercises that we've got. So we're looking forward to her coming on board and being our celebrity guest, if you will,
Yep.
for some of the exercise activities as well. And we're always welcoming, you know, open to receive other artists who want to do the same thing too. So if you're a fitness trainer, it's a great opportunity for you to get exposure for your company, for your brand, for your personal training from different parts of the world. Hey, I'm just happy to have somebody here in Florida and in Boston, right, in Massachusetts. But, you know, there's the rest of the country, but we're open to the world, baby.
That's right. I'm really excited. Like the fact that you said that is on the same page that where my mind is at. I'm excited to have her in because now we don't have just catering to men's fitness. We have exercises that are catering specifically tailored for women's fitness too, because they design workouts that way. So
absolutely. And
I'm so excited.
And we don't have to limit it to just these physical exercises, right? We can do yoga, right? Tai Chi, Wing Chun.
This is all part of health and fitness. You've got to
do
these different things, especially Tai Chi and Wing Chun.
Heck yeah.
Really, like we were really into that Tai Chi for, 2016 when we saw that Keanu Reeves movie, Man of Tai Chi. That's when we got introduced to it. Things like that it's health and fitness is more than just going and doing weights in there, which we'll get those and eventually too. I'll have videos of me doing that as well. This one was an at-home workout. We're going to have a different variety that we do, like yoga. Maybe I will have Vicky doing a yoga routine and I'll do a yoga. Yoga is not just for women too. There's a misconception there where guys are like, oh, macho. Yoga's for girls. No. Have you ever seen P90X? They were sweating their butts off doing yoga. So I'm telling you, it's for me. I used to do those with my mom. Those are so much fun, man.
Cool.
But anyways, yeah, I'm excited for variety in the physical tip. It's more than just weights, guys. It's more than just that. Health and fitness goes deeper. So we have a lot of content to bring for you guys. We're going to keep on going up, baby. We're going to keep getting better. And without further ado, we'll jump right into the mental tip of the day. This one is a quote. I'm going to have it in here for you guys to see. It is a quote by Jim Rohn. We have him on here quite frequently, a lot of quotes by him. Obviously, he thinks in a very good way. He says, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. I never started hitting more goals until I had no other choice but to become disciplined. And that discipline really means, are you going to meal prep the night before the next day when you don't feel like it? Are you going to study for that exam when you want to go and hang out with your friends because they just hit you up, but you haven't studied yet? So in that moment, you have a choice. Every day you have a choice to make with your 24 hours. And I was listening to a motivational speech this morning by Eric Thomas, and he said that he started viewing his time the same way that he was viewing his money. He looked at the 24 hours that he had in a day, and this guy is a guy who wakes up around 3:30 in the morning, I believe, starts his every day like that, 3:30 a.m. And he views that time in his day as a currency. Okay, his goal is to get as many small wins as he can in that day with the time that he has. And that's being very disciplined. You know, everyone has time in their day to go to the gym. When you're at home after work and you're scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or you're watching TV, anything else but really fixing yourself. Maybe you want to learn a new language and you haven't gotten the discipline to get there. So
me.
You know, it's been me too. And that's where the discipline really comes in. You tell yourself, you owe it to yourself. That's another thing that Eric Thomas says, is you owe it to yourself. You tell yourself that you're going to get in shape this year. You tell yourself that you're going to learn this new language this year. You tell yourself all kinds of things and you never stick to it. But when your boss tells you to be at work at 8 a.m., you get to work at 8 a.m. for your boss. When you tell your friend that you're going to meet them at the movies at 9 p.m. and maybe something comes up, but you might have sacrificed, I wanted to make something to eat before I got there, and you didn't make it to eat because you wanted to make it to that movie appointment, whatever. Anything that you're telling other people in life that you're going to do, you make sure that you get there on time. But when it comes to yourself, when you need to meal prep before the next day of work, when you need to go and study that language, when you need to go and read a book because you said that you wanted to start reading more books this year and you wanted to start elevating your mindset this year. And so now you bought a book by David Goggins like I have. Now you bought a book, You're a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. Now you have these different books and you're not reading them. You're not doing what you need to do for yourself, but you do it for all of these other people. This is what I've learned from him. So this quote, it really reminds me of Eric Thomas, is that discipline, the drive. Are you going to make the hard choice for yourself just like you do for others? That's all I got for you guys.
That's good.
That was a lot.
So what I was going to say is to add to that is you've got to focus on bridging the gap. Okay. So when I say bridge the gap between goals, between goals and accomplishment, goals are dreams, right?
Yes.
Written down. You dream, we daydream, we think of things that we want. Oh, I love that Ferrari. Oh, I love that McLaren. Oh, I love that Aston Martin. Oh, I love that mansion over there by the ocean. Oh, I love that log cabin up in the mountains. Those are dreams. But then when you write it down, you say, this is what I'm going to buy. This is how much it's going to cost me. That McLaren is going to cost me $250,000. I don't know if that's the real price or not. I'm just giving you a hypothetical here.
Probably
but when you write down how much it's going to cost and how you plan to achieve it, it's called reverse engineering, by the way. You reverse engineer how you're going to achieve it. Now that dream became a goal. And then, so now how do you bridge the gap between accomplishing the goal and just having a goal written down? And that's where the work comes in. That's where the discipline becomes important. And by the way, if you don't know this already, the word discipline, disciple, means student of, right? That's where we got the 12 disciples from Jesus. They studied Jesus's word. Jesus is God, God incarnate. They studied what God wants us to be like, and then they went and dispersed that information to the rest of the world. We became the students, and they became the teachers. So disciple means student of. Self-discipline means the study of yourself.
Wow.
So are you studying your habits? If you don't make observations and make notations of what you're doing right and wrong, how can you fix it? Do that. And that's where journaling comes in, right? You get your journal and you open it up and you start writing down what's working and what's not working. Whoops, I'm losing what's working and what's not working. By writing it down and making those observations, you are practicing self-discipline, the study of yourself. Then to accomplish those goals, you've got to make adjustments, right?
Yeah.
Maybe your adjustments are small, but guess what? I have this written down over here. Tiny tweaks equal big changes.
That's so true. That's why Eric Thomas looks in his day with his time when he's viewing it as money. He's looking to make small wins because those small wins are tiny tweaks.
Uh-oh, what happened to you? Oh no, Sebastian just disappeared.
Oh, okay, There we go. I don't know where it left off, but anyway, so when you tell yourself that you're going to read a book for 15 minutes a day and you did it, that's that tiny tweak right there. You just tweaked your day. Now you kind of changed your path for your outcome in life. Now you made that small adjustment. So now maybe tomorrow it's easier for you to read that book.
100%. 100%. Tiny tweaks equal big changes. Bridge the gap. Okay, so
yes.
Plan your work your plan. Begin with the end in mind.
Yep.
This is why I love the 7 habits of highly effective people, because you can apply all of those 7 habits into the accomplishment of your goals. Yeah. And so you have to always remember the big picture. And that's what begin with the end in mind means. Think what you want to accomplish down the road. Yep. Map it out. Okay. Yep. Write it down and do it by chapters. Okay. Because we live life in chapters. If you haven't realized that yet already, elementary school was chapter 1. No, actually, let me go back. From birth to elementary school, that was chapter 1 for you. Yep. Elementary school was chapter 2. Middle school was chapter 3. Mm-hmm. Read between the lines. That's what middle school is like. And then chapter 4 was high school. And then chapter 5 is like what was the first chapter after high school, right? Which would be like 18 to 22, 23. That's really like the college years or your indoctrination into the work world, If you haven't gone to work yet, a lot of us have already started working in high school, but some people don't. And so that's like your introduction into adulthood. And then you go on from there. Marriage chapter, divorce chapter, whatever, you know, and so on and so forth.
Start a business and fail chapter.
And it seems like, what's that?
Start a business and fail chapter.
Absolutely. Oh my God. I've had a few of those. And so like after a while, you start looking at like, okay, now, this chapter of my life lasted from my 30s to 40s. Now I'm in this chapter, 40s to 50s. And now I'm starting a new chapter at 50 this month. So can you believe I'm going to be 50 this month, Sebastian?
I cannot believe it. No.
It's insane, right? Do I look like I'm 50?
No, not at all.
Maybe a little bit? Maybe not so much.
I don't see 50 anywhere near you.
Hey, 50's the new 40, baby, if you take care of yourself.
If you take care of yourself.
That's right. I put that caveat there. If. It's a big if.
Yeah, there's a little sprinkle on top.
You know, you don't want to overdo the booze. You know, you got to work out. You know, I have a problem with sugar. I have a problem with eating too many sweets. I had a piece of cake last night. Guilty as charged.
I had chocolate Pop-Tarts last night.
Chocolate Pop-Tarts. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to get deeper into that. It messed me up really bad.
Was the chocolate Pop-Tarts crushed and put on top of a big bucket of ice cream?
Surprisingly, this time it wasn't. That would sound something similar to what I would normally have. This time they just got into the toaster and then
gummy bears.
That sounds like a classic. I ordered a Vermonster one time from Dairy Queen or Ben's and Jerry's. I went with my girl one time recently. She gets a normal serving like a normal person would. She gets this little thin cup or whatever, and it's got a couple scoops inside of it. So what the average person would have. Then you have a Tanner walking in. You got me, Cookie Monster, everything in between, whatever names you can call someone. And I walk in there.
Did you order the Shrek special?
I definitely did. I was already pre-planning how fat I was going to be when I walked in there. I'm looking at their menu on my phone in the car, in the parking lot, and I see something called a Vermonster. And I was like, oh my God. Monster ice cream? Yeah. I want it. As I'm serving for a monster, that's what I want because I'm really fat right now. And so I'm like, and it comes with 4 cookies and brownies, and they're heated up, and it has whipped cream and chocolate syrup, caramel drizzle. And so I walk in there and I order the Vermonster, and the guy like looks at me, and it's like a little pause, like, you sure that's what you want? And I'm like, I want the Vermonster.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, okay. He goes and comes back with a tub of where the ice cream is going to be going. That's how big my serving is. I have other customers in line looking at what I'm getting now.
Oh my God. That's usually
everyone's
for like
getting a cup.
People.
That's usually for a table full, and it's just for this guy. And so they're getting their little cones, their little waffle cones. It's so cute. 2 scoops of ice cream.
I'm surprised you didn't overdose from all of that sugar.
I was in a coma after eating that. So I had about half of it, and I was in an ice cream coma. I had to go right to sleep.
Did your brain freeze at any point in time?
So many times. So many brain freezes. I might have had 5 while I was eating that ice cream.
Oh my gosh!
And I was like, take a break, and then I would keep going because I'm dedicated when I'm in this moment, when I'm having a sweet tooth. I commit to the plan. The plan was to have the Vermonster.
Dude, we need to hire a videographer to follow you around when you
so guys, so now
I want to do like the before and after when you're like splurging on this garbage and then you're in the gym sweating your butt off and saying, why the hell did I do that?
I want to get that. So eventually we'll have a videographer to record that. It's so funny.
Right?
So
oh my gosh.
We're gonna have to find my next cheat day.
I'm sure that you're willing to self-sacrifice and take one for the team to go eat that thing again. So we can get on.
I'll take you guys to the buffet and show you what I eat there too. I'll take you to the sushi buffet and show you how I really get down. I'm gonna do it for you guys. You know, it's gonna jeopardize my health.
Business.
You leave me no choice, guys. We're gonna have to record the all-you-can-eat buffet. My dad gives me no other option. I'm trying to diet right now, but you guys can see here that I have a gun to my head. I don't have any other choice. If I'm gonna have to go and eat a sushi buffet, I'm doing it for you guys, not because I go and do this on the regular. No, because I'm doing it for y'all. I'm doing it to show the viewers what not to do when you're training.
It's all about the love for the crew. It's all about the love for the audience.
Mwah, mwah. So we're gonna make that happen. So right now I'm tracking what I'm eating Monday through. It's 6 days a week. So either Monday through Saturday, and I have the cheat day Sunday, or I have the cheat day Saturday. And
I
so
feel like
what
our
we're gonna do
podcast
is
the jackass of podcasts.
it's gonna get where the route
gonna get
that we're
ugly,
going. You gotta
guys.
be careful.
Especially when he's sweating in the gym afterwards.
It's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly. Don't let your kids watch that video because
Right?
they don't want them to see this information. But pretty much we'll pick one of these cheat days in the next couple weeks or a month or so, whenever I can schedule this in.
We're gonna
record
do a
me.
new thing, right? Like you know how
Yeah.
I have that sign that says rated G for everyone. I don't know. Can over here. Can you see it over there? Rated G up there.
See it. I can see it in the corner.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to. There's rated G. We're gonna have to do that, but we're gonna do your videos in the gym. Rated S for sweaty.
Oh yeah. I mean, you guys are gonna see. I hope that the camera can pick it up, because when I walk around the gym now, I put more emphasis in my workouts within the past month to get this more serious. So I'm sweating more than I was before. Sweat harder than you did last time, guys. This guy Greg Doucette says work harder than the last time or whatever. My thing is going to be sweat harder than last time. You want to go in there and make sure that you're sweating more when you come out. I left the gym my last session with a wet t-shirt. Like my gym shirt was soaking wet. Oh, wow. So I hope the camera will reflect it. He's talking about sweaty. You guys have yet to see how sweaty it gets.
Oh boy. Oh man, we're in for it, I think.
You guys are in for it. I'm going to stop scaring you guys. We're going to jump right into our spiritual tip of the day.
Well, actually, I was going to pull something up because I just realized that I had emailed myself a copy of an excerpt that I want to read for the Entrefluential tip of the day, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm using my phone to record this. But I'm opening it up. But I'm opening it up on the laptop because I have it written in Google Docs.
Yep.
And so, so I'm going to pull it from there. But I'm looking to see. Oh yeah. Okay. Here we go. So page 2021. Okay. So I'm kind of like stuck for a minute here. You're going to have to bear with me. But yeah, I'll go ahead.
I can edit all of this out.
So the spiritual tip of the day is from Living the 66 Books of the Bible by Dr. David Jeremiah. And today's book that we're reviewing is a 1.5 page summary of the book of Titus. And it's how we apply this in our daily lives, right? All right. So here we go. Here's the description of Titus. Titus is the book to read when you're sick and tired of the culture. Boy, that sounds like I need this right now.
Yeah, it's applying.
It's easy to grow weary in a world of indecent entertainment, four-letter words, laziness, indulgence. Oh my gosh, we're just what we were just talking about.
Wait a minute. Did they have social media back then?
They're following us, man. They know exactly what we're talking about. Yeah, I know. This is written 2,000 years ago. Indulgence, violence, and godless philosophies. That is so true today, man.
Yes.
I was just talking to somebody yesterday who was like, oh, I believe the universe, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, God created the universe. So, shouldn't it be God? Well, I believe that, the universe is God. It's all one. We're all connected. I was like, okay. And I just left it at that. I was like, I didn't want to go into,
they're starting to stray people's belief in God. And instead of God, they're calling it the universe.
Right.
And
exactly.
It's like, we are in the universe.
Huge mistake.
Things in this universe work a certain way, but I believe that God is behind that. So
it's like saying, I believe the United States, the map of the United States, which is a location, right?
Yeah.
The universe is a location. Think about it like that. It's like a big map.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I believe the planets are going to give me what I need. Is that what you're saying?
I believe the sun is gonna.
Yeah, the sun's gonna
give me a tan. That's about all it's gonna do. It's gonna give me a tan, and that's it.
Or cancer, skin cancer, right?
Yeah, well, that too.
Yeah, I mean, come on. So anyway, let's continue on with this. So I know our people that are watching, they don't believe that. they believe that there is a God, and God gives us all the blessings that we need in our lives, and we want
Yeah.
and need. And
You know what? It makes me think
full
of is the
everything.
devil is the master of deception. So the
That's
devil is
100%
working
right.
hard right now to make you think that this is
There
all
is no God.
functioning for a reason other than God.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to your final day to make a choice when you die,
Yeah.
and you have a choice to make, he doesn't want you to think that that choice is a choice, because he
Right.
wants you to go and suffer with him.
Oh, 100%. His job is to bring down as many humans as possible. That's his
Yeah.
goal.
So
Is
be careful for
as
the
many humans as possible. He
misinformation.
hates us. Absolutely hates us.
Yes.
And I think there's so much self-defiling because of the
Yes.
demons that he's a. So like if you think about angels, well, the
Yep.
opposite of angels are fallen angels, and they're called demons, right? Fallen
Yep.
angels. Those demons are out there. You can't see them, but they're there. You can feel their presence at times.
Yep.
And they are whispering in your ear, saying things that make you self-loathe, which means you hate yourself. You feel like you're not worthy. And so people are doing all these things, putting the piercings in their nose, tattoos on their faces now. It used to be just a tattoo here or there.
Painting their faces black.
And now
entirely.
It's like covering the whole body. Why? Because he's saying that you're not worthy, as you were born a beautiful, beautiful human being. And somewhere between the time you were born and to where you are right now, he's convinced you that you're not good enough. And so you have to do all these things to look better. And you know what the next scary thing is? That people are going to start replacing their body parts with machine parts. That's scary. And
that's what scares me about the advancements of
happening.
The technology and all of this AI stuff. It kind of makes me think of some Terminator
thing.
Level. It could get to that in so many years from now.
Oh yeah, look at the artwork. Okay, there are people that are envisioning this already. If you look at steampunk, you'll see a lot of it in there. And so I believe that what they're doing when they're creating it, they don't think that they're maybe they do, maybe they don't believe that they're creating a prophecy of what's going to happen in the future. But I believe that that's in the very near future.
It could be. I think, guys, to sum that all up, at the end of the day, you're given beautiful qualities, special qualities that God has designed for you. Yep. You don't know yet what you have to offer to the world. So when you grow up with this self-doubt, maybe you can find a podcast like this that's teaching you a different way to retrain your mind.
Exactly.
To unlearn what you have learned, just like Yoda said.
You
must unlearn what you have learned.
Exactly.
And then relearn some positive reinforcing thoughts and ways of thinking, and learn about God. Get closer to him, and you'll find that self-confidence. And instead of trying to be so much like everybody else, you have to find yourself. So you got to try different things to see what you're good at, and then you'll know the quality that God gave you. It's a gift. It's like a superpower. God gave me the power to talk my damn butt off, and it makes me good at customer service, So it's funny, but it's like, okay, I realize I can connect with people over the phone. So I do some customer service work on the side. Instead of like with Garage Doors, I also work for my boss's other company in his office. So
cool.
I never knew, like, okay, I talk too much and this and that in school, and everyone tells me I talk too much. I never knew that could be a trait that can help me. Yeah, and that can help. So guys, figure out, try different things, and you'll see the gift that God has given you.
Absolutely.
And instead of saying that you can't find it, you have to also speak in a different way. Say, I used to say I'm not good at basketball, I'm not good at this and that. Instead of saying all of these things, say, I've tried some different things and I haven't found what I'm good at yet.
Right. Stay curious.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue reading the first page here. Okay, so that was the background, that situation, which we can relate to so well right now. That was what was going on in the island of Crete in the first century, 2,000 years ago. Paul and Titus toured the island, preaching the gospel, and started fledgling churches. When Paul sailed away, he left Titus there to set in order the things that are lacking. That included biblical teaching. We can't reform the culture without reclaiming individuals, and that can't happen without sound doctrine. Paul stressed to Titus the need to teach new Christians theology and to censure false teachings, right? To silence the false teachings.
Yes.
Which is why I love that Sean Cannell said, the devil is giving his people microphones, and God needs us to pick up the microphone and share our message as well.
That's right.
So let me continue on. Our behavior flows from our beliefs. Wow. What we say and do is determined by what we think. Yes. Before applying the truth, we need to know the truth. That's why taking a verse out of context doesn't build deep churches or solid Christians. It's easy in a sermon or lesson to take a miscellaneous verse, add a story, and make some application. But unless the truth is presented in context and with adequate background, it's of limited use. Shallow insights create hollow sayings. Wow. Whenever you have an opportunity to write, speak, teach, or preach from God's word, do so studiously and seriously. Unfold the scripture, make the application, and ask God to change a soul and a society. Let's hold fast the faithful word that we may be able, by sound doctrine, to exhort and convict the world. Boom. So exhort and convict, you've got to do both. Yeah. It's like saying the tongue is a double-edged sword.
A double-edged sword, yes.
It's both capable of inflicting wounds and healing it. So
the Dumbledore said that.
Yep, and that's from the Bible. And so to exhort means to raise up, and to convict means to put down, to say you're guilty. So you got to do both as a Christian. You got to tell people, hey, that's a right act and that's a wrong act, so that they know the difference between the two and can do the right thing. Do the right thing. All right, what you got for us, buddy?
Let me see here, guys. So I have our key theme today, if it'll let me pull it up. All right, here we go. The devil didn't want me to pull it up, but God's gonna prevail. I'm cheesy, guys. Our key theme: teach sound doctrine and live a godly life. Our key challenge. Key theme: teach sound doctrine and live a godly life. Our key challenge: stay grounded in the word of God and trust in its promises. It will be your firm foundation in a world filled with uncertainty and disbelief.
I love that.
How crazy does that apply to our life today?
Absolutely. And so, like, a lot of people go through life without having the right barometer to measure right and wrong. And the Bible is that barometer. It is what tells you the difference between right and wrong. If you want to measure something, imagine taking a ruler out, right? A ruler, so just imagine this, right? This is your ruler, and you're taking the ruler out and you're measuring things. You make sure that you've got the right measurements there, right? Is it the right size? You can measure it to see if what's the difference, what you need. It's a gauge, okay? Just like a fuel gauge. I like the fuel gauge better because when you look at a fuel gauge, you can see when you're empty and you're full, right?
That's
right. So the same thing, you need some type of a barometer to show you what's right and wrong, okay? Is it pointing to good or evil? Right and wrong, good, evil, okay? And so that's what the Bible does. It helps you build a barometer in your mind.
That's right.
So that you can discern what's right or wrong. Now, you intuitively, every human being intuitively can tell what's right and wrong because we have a soul. And our soul is wired that way because God made us that way.
That's right. Your barometer is not like your gas tank where you can visually see it. This barometer is something that you're going to be feeling on the inside. And when you start following that right path, you'll know.
In your stomach, right?
Yep.
You'll know when you're doing the right thing. You get butterflies or something, or you get tingles and you know you're about to do something wrong, or it feels wrong, or somebody's about to hurt you. Okay? But if you want to do it better, then you need to fine tune your internal barometer. And the only way I can think of doing that from my life experience up until now is through the Bible. It is the best device to sharpen your barometer, your mental gauge.
That's right. I couldn't agree more.
Hey, your screen's changing in the background there.
Yeah, I get ads on my YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I can't even. Doesn't even let me.
I was like, "What's going on in the background there?"
Advertisements, guys, give us a royalty. I'm showing your advertisements. Let me get some commission from this.
Go ahead with the key takeaways.
Our key verse: "But as for you, speak the things which are proper for sound doctrine." Speak the things which are proper for sound doctrine. Titus verse 2:1. And lastly, our key prayer. Lord, my desire is to be a diligent student of your word. and to share it with others as they begin their walk of faith. I pray that you will help me be a faithful witness for your glory and honor.
Awesome.
And that's what we have for our key takeaways from the book of Titus.
Awesome. Awesome. So true. So practical and it's,
applicable
I
to
think it's
today.
insightful that, hey, this isn't anything new. I mean, this is what people were dealing with 2,000 years ago.
Yep.
You know, it's been, as a matter of fact, this is what people have been dealing with since the beginning of humanity. And this is why God called out Abraham, and this is why he blessed the tribe of Israel, and then he used that to graft in the Gentiles, which at that time meant the Greeks and all the other tribes, into the kingdom of heaven, which is for everyone, for every race, every tribe, everyone who believes in God. And so he made that pathway because humans faltered. They went away from being like their creator, our creator, God.
Yes.
And that's the ultimate goal, is to have a relationship with God. He loves us so much that he came down and died on a cross to reconcile us so that we can have a relationship with him again. Now, and when you believe in him and you accept him as your Lord and Savior, and you say, thank you for your forgiveness, I want you to reestablish a relationship with me, he comes and lives inside of us. His Holy Spirit lives within us and guides us and talks to us and teaches us. And so that ongoing relationship, and one day he's going to recreate the earth. This is what the book of Revelations talks about. He's going to recreate the earth, and he's going to be down here living with us on earth, on a new earth. And so if you want to be a part of that for eternity, then I suggest you get on board with having a relationship with God, because the other side of that, there's a consequence for the people who reject God, our creator, by the way, is eternal damnation in hell. And you don't want to go there. So you have to make a decision on whether you believe that that's the facts or not, you know, and it's a tough pill to swallow. So my advice to you all is, if you're not already saved, go do some research, extensive research, and make a decision on your own. One of the best things that I could recommend for you, for anybody who's contemplating that, is go watch The Case for Christ. It's about a journalist from Chicago who didn't believe in God. His wife did, but he did not. And so he was looking for evidence to disprove the reality of God, the true existence of God. And through his extensive research as a journalist, as a reporter, he ended up becoming a believer. And so that story, The Case for Christ, is really valuable in helping you understand, because he's done a lot of the research for you. And I love shortcuts. So that's one of the shortcuts you can actually use that's thoroughly vetted, in order for you to gather more information to make that decision on your own. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out the spiritual tip of the day. I hope that serves you well, what we covered today. I know it served me in that very brief session right there.
Me too.
And so let's go ahead and move into the Entrefluential tip of the day. And I'm really excited about this one as well, because so what we've been talking about over the last couple of sessions of our podcast show is that, I have something called the Small Business Improvement Matrix, and it's comprised of 12 different compartments of how to run your business, how to professionalize your business, to be more specific, because only you know how to run your business. Every business is unique, and so every business has their own business plans to make it function. But every business can go from a small mom and pop type operation to a professional operation, and that's what the 12 components do. They help you professionalize your company so that anybody can run it. And that's where the value increases if you decide to sell your business in the future, is by having it professionalized. When you have a professionalized system that's making a lot of money, and it's anybody can step into that role and make a profit, because that's the intention of every business, is to make a profit. That's the goal of every business. And if you can make that happen with anybody stepping into the place of you and make a profit, then that business has value, and companies will pay you money to acquire that company. So that's what we're talking about here. And inside of those 12 components, today's component happens to come from category number 2. There's four main categories, 12 sections. This is category number 2, tactical planning. And this is the second part of that, which is financial capital. Last week we talked about human capital. Sebastian loved that one, right, Sebastian?
Yeah, that one was amazing. I really enjoyed it.
And today we're going to talk about, I love that one too. And today we're going to talk about financial capital. So let me give you a little bit of background of what financial capital is. And then I'm going to tell you a short story that will help put it into perspective. So what is financial capital? Financial capital is an economic resource used to create or expand a business. This looks like a small business owner using money to buy products or the raw goods used to create products, to purchase the equipment used to provide a service, funds to hire and pay for support staff, and the money that's used to cover fixed and variable operating expenses, such as your rent, utilities, marketing, tax preparation and bookkeeping, legal services, and so forth. Financial capital management includes creating financial projections, understanding the 3 basic funding options for when you're starting your business, which include bootstrapping, which means you're paying for it on your own, out of your own pocket. Commercial bank loans, that means you go to a bank and you apply for a commercial loan. And funding from investors, which we call, there's 2 different types of funding from investors. There's crowdfunding, which is a new thing. And then there's going to venture capitalists and pitching the venture capitalists for funds, and they become shareholders. And so that's called shareholder equity, the money that they give you to operate your business. Mm-hmm. All right, now to put this into perspective, I'm going to tell you a little story that's coming from my forthcoming book called The Bespoke Startup.
Ooh,
and this one is called The Tell. What's that?
I said, I want to hear this.
Awesome. So this is called The Tale of the 3 Bakers. In the small town of New Dowland, 3 aspiring bakers each dreamt of opening their own bakery. Their names were Sarah, Tom, and Lisa. Though their passion for baking was the same, their approach to business was as different as their favorite recipes. Wow. Sarah's Bootstrap Bakery. Sarah had always been self-reliant. She decided to start small, using her savings to buy just enough ingredients and equipment to make her famous sourdough bread. Her plan was simple: sell bread at the local farmer's market, reinvest the profits, and gradually expand her offerings. She carefully created financial projections, estimating her costs, revenue, and profit margins. By keeping her expenses low and her projections realistic, she managed to grow her business steadily, adding a new pastry or bread each month as she gained more customers. Though Sarah didn't have the latest ovens or a fancy storefront, she had something even more valuable: control over her business. Bootstrapping allowed her to grow at her own pace without the pressure of repaying loans or answering to investors. Okay, now let's look at case number 2. Tom's loan-fueled bakery. Tom had big ambitions and wanted to open a full-fledged bakery with a cafe right from the start. He approached the local bank with a detailed business plan and financial projections that showed how his bakery could be profitable within a year. That's really amazing, because most startups take 3 years to become profitable. They operate in the red, which means at a financial loss for the first 2 years, which is called the ramp-up period. Okay.
So this guy has high hopes and ambitions.
Yeah, and so he created a business plan that showed that he would be profitable within a year, and he went to a bank and got a loan.
Right.
The bank was impressed with Tom's plan and approved the loan. With the funding, Tom was able to lease a prime location, purchase top-of-the-line equipment, and hire a small team. However, the loan came with monthly repayments, and Tom quickly learned the importance of sticking to his financial projections. When his bakery didn't attract as many customers as quickly as he had hoped, he had to dip into his personal savings to make the loan payments. Wow. Tom realized that while loans could provide a quick start, they also carried significant risks. Mm-hmm. All right, here's case number 3, Lisa's investor-powered bakery. Lisa had an innovative idea: gluten-free, vegan, and sugar-free pastries. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
She knew her concept could be a hit, but she needed significant capital to bring it to life. Instead of bootstrapping or taking out a loan, Lisa decided to seek investors. She prepared a compelling pitch, complete with detailed financial projections showing how her bakery could disrupt the market. Lisa attended networking events and pitched her idea to potential investors. After several rejections, she finally found an investor who believed in her vision. With the investor's money, Lisa was able to launch her bakery in style, complete with a marketing campaign that drew customers from all over the region. However, she quickly realized that taking investor money came with strings attached. The investor wanted regular updates, had opinions on the business direction, and expected a significant return on their investment. Lisa's bakery was successful, but she had to constantly balance her vision with the expectations of her investor. The lessons learned. Each baker learned valuable lessons. Sarah learned that bootstrapping gave her full control, but required patience and meticulous financial planning.
Yeah.
Tom discovered that loans could help accelerate growth, but came with financial obligations that could become burdensome if projections were not met.
Mm.
Lisa found that investors could provide the capital needed for rapid growth, but at the cost of shared control and high expectations. The moral of the story. In the end, all three bakers found success in their own way. Their stories remind us that financial projections are essential for any business, regardless of the funding method. Whether you're going to bootstrap, take out a loan, or pitch to investors, understanding your financial path and the responsibilities it brings is key to turning your dream into reality. And that's our Entrefluential tip of the day.
Wow. I am blown away by the way that you presented this, with having a story behind it, with three different bakers with their dreams and ambitions to open up their shop, and the routes that they took and what they learned from it and how they could get past it. That's incredible. I really wish that we had a professional editor, like animator, that we could animate this into a little short cartoon film.
Yeah, well, we can do that in the future. That's not hard to do.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah,
because I really want to see that story in cartoony.
Well, by the way, I mean, just to be full disclosure here, I asked ChatGPT to help me write these stories. Okay, so
that's incredible.
I plugged in the elements that I wanted to educate on, and I had ChatGPT create a fictitious story as an anecdote to describe, to exactly what happened here, right? So like you can visualize. It's so much easier, to visualize something when you hear a story. And so that's what ChatGPT helped me do.
I'm following along, and then I almost got sad at some points, and I got happy at some points. It's like it's really great, and then when you can watch it as well,
I know.
It's so digestible for people.
Really amazing. Yeah.
Yes, we got to make that happen. That was incredible.
I would love to film actual people, like showing a person doing a bakery, creating the sourdough bread.
That would be fun.
Yeah, and that comes with every production, whether it be a TV commercial or infomercial or a TV show, it's all the production value will either increase or decrease the quality. As long as the content's good, your production value can increase through the resources that you have. And so eventually, as our program has the money to invest, we can do those things. We can either do it with information or with real people actually doing the work, which I like. I like both, but I think
we'll do both of them. I think we'll give people a nice variety, because we're looking to reach a wide audience. So for some younger people watching a little cartoon, even for older people, it's going to be fun for everyone. We're going to make it both happen.
If you think about it, we're still on our fledgling stage, right? We're in our infancy as a podcast. I was reading an article yesterday about a woman who has a podcast that she's been doing for 10 years. And I was like, wow, long time. And one of the persons that I like a lot, Amy Porterfield, she's been doing it for 14 years. So like, if you think about it, 2 years versus 10 or 14, we're still on the stage. So I just expect a lot of great things to happen with this show over time.
Yep, that's right. There's a lot to come, and I think this is the year that we're making a lot of changes.
Yeah,
the next step for us Yeah, I mean,
Everything that
the
we've
way
done in
that
the show today, I think, has been good changes.
I think it has. And
Yep.
then doing these pre-recordings and editing this content for you guys and trying to make it, spice it up a little bit, get a little more caliente. It's really
More
taking
cilantro.
it to that next. It's muy cilantro, guys. The podcast is getting muy cilantro. We're making
Podcast
it
3.0,
little by
man. Wait
little.
till you see 4.0.
4.0 is going to be next level. Yep. And then we have 5.0, 6.0. It's
Yep.
going to get crazy.
All right. Shh, don't let them know everything yet. keep them on the edge.
Oh, they're watching.
Stay tuned.
Am I bugged in here? Are they listening?
Stay tuned.
They're listening. That was fun, man. That was by far my favorite Entrefluential tip of the day.
Wow.
It was amazing to listen as a story. I want more of them. I want every tip. Like that was, I was on point with it the entire time. Like it was so fun to listen to it.
Awesome.
And it's so much more relatable when you bring someone into it. Like, oh, this person has their bakery. And it's like, oh, yeah, these people have got families that they're trying to provide for and whatnot. It was really interesting to listen to it like that. So that was absolutely my number one. That was my favorite.
Well, thank you so much.
That pretty much wraps up the show for us today, guys. We went through all of our lessons for the day, for the week, for you guys to take on for the rest of this week, because you're going to be seeing this on Wednesday morning, 7:30 a.m. It's going to be published. So I hope that you guys learned a lot today. I know I did. I had a great time filming this episode, and I hope you guys are ready to attack the rest of your week. Don't just react to it, and change your mindset, change the way that you're thinking, and be a light to others. Mm-hmm. Go out there
and amplify your message. 100%. Right. And don't forget to cross the bridge.
Don't forget to cross the bridge. That's right. Discipline is going to get you across that bridge. So I want you guys to remember that. Discipline gets you across the bridge. I was going to try to think
of something witty, like get out of the fridge and cross the bridge, but it wasn't working. So
with your health and fitness, it does. With health and fitness, get out of the fridge and cross the bridge to go to the gym.
Good time.
We made it work. All right, guys.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I had a great time. The teamwork does make the dream work, baby.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see y'all on the next episode.
Episode 71.
Bye, you guys.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.